Morning, Zen Master Dae Bong.
And everybody.
Nice of you to spend some time with us today.
Well, it's our new way of being together.
That's right. So for everybody who's not familiar with Zen Master Dae Bong, he's originally from America, but has lived in Korea for more than 30 over years, I believe. 30?
20 some.
20 something. And he's our head Zen Master of Asia and also the guiding teacher at Musangsa. So, Zen Master Bong, thank you for joining us. How are things in Korea or in Musangsa with the new pandemic? How's the temple? How the Sunims coping with it?
Well, first, situation is fairly stable right now in Korea. Everybody's vigilant, and of course, in public, people. I'd say almost everybody is very careful with wearing masks and basic social distancing, not gathering in big groups, not having big events, things like that. But the situation is fairly stable right now, although everybody, I think, is aware that you have to keep paying attention and being vigilant, and that further waves of this illness is possible. In Korea, one of the main ways in which the infection has been spread is through religious gatherings. And so there are, the restrictions in Korea are almost all voluntary compliance, but people are following it. And but there are some stricter guidelines for religious places. So all the Buddhist temples have, since mid-February, have canceled all the public events, classes, any public gatherings. We still have, of course, our morning and evening chanting and meditation and our rice offering chanting, but almost nobody comes. And we've been asked by the government not to serve food to people, so as not to bring them in, to bring them in the eating areas. And for our temple, it's very relaxed. Actually, it's kind of lovely because we're on a mountainside outside the city.
It's beautiful.
And there's 15 people living here right now. There are a few Sunims who can't get back to Korea. One is at Yasinim's at Hengwan Sanwan in Malaysia, and two are in Poland, one is in France, one is in America. So because of travel restrictions, they can't come back. But our activities inside the temple are normal. We just don't have any visitors. And in Korea, Buddha's birthday has been delayed 1 month. So it won't be until the end of May. All the temples have agreed on that. And so people are pretty relaxed. They don't feel the pressure, and we're not locked down. But it seems that certainly within the temple, everybody understands the seriousness of the situation. But the general feeling is pretty relaxed. In fact, since we have much less to do, with no visitors, we decided this week to make a retreat, and today will be the last day of the retreat. So just
wonderful.
the 15 of us can sit together. We made it a half-day retreat from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. So we just shut down all the work, and only 2 people have to miss to prepare some dinner. Everybody can sit together, so it's actually very good.
Wow, it's great. I wish I could be there.
Well, now you are in cyberspace. We are together.
I'd have to quarantine for 14 days if I go into Korea. Never mind about trying to get a flight out of Malaysia, which is impossible.
No. Nowadays, travel is shut down in most places, many places.
So, Zen Master, we have quite a few questions for you from our students here in Malaysia. And
Sure.
I'd like to, would you mind answering some of them for us?
Sure, so whatever I can do.
Great, thank you. So our first question is this from one of our organic farmers. If others are suffering, can we be happy?
Well, when people suffer, of course, we should be aware of it, and it's happening all the time. It's not just now. I mean, there are always people anywhere in the world who are sick, who are dying, or who have difficult situations. I think if you put that opposite in your mind, then you're going to have a problem. Then you feel either I can't be happy or I have to ignore other people suffering. But you just have to take the whole situation into your heart and do what you can with where you are right now, with what's right in front of you. I mean, if you're in a war zone, then you do what you can there to help people. If you are in a society like ours right now, where it's important not to move around, to stay home, then you do that, and you try and do it with some attention into the present moment. If we learn to pay attention to the present moment, literally right where we are, what's happening, what the feelings are, without shutting out anything else, then there's a natural happiness that comes from being in the present moment.
Yeah.
And that can be true even if you're dealing with something difficult. If you make opposites in your mind, then even if the whole world's at peace, but there's a difficult thing in front of you, you will have suffering. Even if everybody's suffering, but you're able 100% to do what you're doing, even if you're suffering, it's different. It's not the same kind of suffering that comes from thinking. It's okay. It is life at this moment.
Right.
So don't make opposites in your mind.
Okay.
I'm fine. Don't make opposites in your mind. And then you'll get wisdom also.
Yeah. So
then you can embrace suffering, even if your body situation is not suffering. You understand the truth of life, and you'll have sympathy.
I understand. I get it on an intellectual level, not making opposites in our mind. But how can we kind of practice that at the experiential level? Because that's the one that hits us the most. Because we're always some of us are more empathetic, feel emotions more strongly, and some less. So how do we kind of access that not making opposites kind of experience?
Where are you now? Who are you with right now? How can you help them, that situation, that moment? So many people are trapped in their homes, and this might be an unusual experience. Also, families live together, but how many hours do they actually spend together awake? Often not so many. So suddenly they're stuck together. So how can you deal in a helpful way, in a beneficial way to that situation right now? That's how you not make opposites.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Second question. I am the type of person who gets easily agitated and worried when things do not go well or when crisis happens. How do I overcome my weakness of getting worried and agitated too easily during adversity? Will meditation help?
Yes, meditation will help.
Short answer to a long question.
Yeah. So, it's a good chance. We often say a good situation is a bad situation. A bad situation is a good situation, because this gives you a chance to see, where do I put importance in my life? We all pay attention to our bank account. We pay attention, maybe some better, some worse, to the feeling in our body, to our relationships. How many people try and take care of their own mind? If you know how to deal with your own mind in a skillful way, in a good way, any situation will not throw you. You can handle the situations that appear. But if you don't know how to deal with your own mind, even good situations will make a problem for you, because you'll just have a good feeling that's controlled by the situation. Then when a bad situation comes, you'll be controlled by the bad situation. So this situation is good teaching for people. We too much put our attention on outside things, or just my feeling. We don't understand the nature of human, of my mind, of what I am. So we can't deal with ourselves. Circumstances control us. So this is a good chance to redirect your attention and learn how to deal with yourself. That, with what we call your mind, that's what meditation is.
Yep. So learning to deal with ourselves with our mind through meditation. That's the way to do it.
If you get agitated easily, it means you haven't been paying attention to your own mind, and you let yourself be controlled by your habits and by your circumstances. And that's not a very good way to live, because then you're at the mercy of circumstances always. And there's no way. Go ahead, please.
Go ahead. No.
Well, there's no way you're always going to have good circumstances. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Because we all are born. We all sometime or other will get sick. And if we live long enough, we'll all get old, and everybody will die. It doesn't matter whether you're a wonderful person, a bad person, happy, sad, rich, poor. Everybody has those things. Those are not bad things. It's reality. So if you see reality, not with some opinion, I like, I don't like, then you can begin to understand yourself, deal with yourself in any circumstance. And meditation is one of the major ways to do that. That's why Buddha meditated. That's why Buddha's teaching of practicing and meditation has continued 2,500 years. It works.
Yes. Yeah,
and it will help you.
I was just going to say, I remember before I started to practice, being yanked around by all these outside situations, not getting what I want and getting what I didn't want. It was horrible. That
is horrible. That's right. Yeah. So this is a good chance. And I think many humans will wake up what's really important, not just what you're asking, which is learning about our own mind and how to handle it well, but also other priorities. We get a chance to question that, to learn how to be patient, learn how to be kind, learn how to take care of ourselves and others at the same time, learn how to have a purpose in life that really has a value. And some people will learn that from this situation and some won't, but it's a good opportunity. Your question means you're already learning something.
Right.
It's great.
Right. Thank you. Our third question comes from one of our students in Ipoh. And the question is, a famous Chinese monk in the United States, he passed away already, I think. He's called Venerable Hsuan Hua, City of 1,000 Buddhas. He founded that. He said in 1992 that a terrible disease called new respiratory virus will attack mankind in the future, which is spread by humans easily and will kill millions of people. This is the karma for the bad things done by us. In the end, only Buddhists and other good religious believers will survive. So his question is this happening now with the COVID-19? It's a long question.
Well, with the COVID-19, people are getting sick and dying, and some of them are good people, and some of them maybe haven't been so good in their lives. So I think disease, it's kind of irrelevant.
Right. It can hit anybody.
Yeah, exactly. And every
Prince
religion.
Charles.
Yeah, right, sure. Everybody, even religious people get sick. Everybody can get sick. But every religion, there are excellent teachers who realize that at some point disasters happen. This is just what happens in life. Right. And of course, they're going to encourage their followers that if they, become living by good principles, they'll survive. Of course, you can ask yourself, what does it mean to survive? I think it means to really find peace inside. Because even if you survive, but you're always in an agitated state or controlled by circumstances, that's not wonderful. No. So, I think that you'll find religious leaders of all sorts say things like this.
Well, this is not the first respiratory disease that we've had. We've had SARS in 2013, and also the Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, which happened later. So this is the third one. So
well, there was the bubonic plague, which yes. I don't know the history of Asia, but it went on for about 200 years in the in the Western world, and in some places killed 50% of the people. So right. I think that we have to. It gives us actually this virus can help people a lot, giving them a deeper question about what is the true nature and meaning of life. And our world has become so focused, regardless on political persuasion or religious persuasion or no religious persuasion, focused on money and on external circumstances. And this is not a wise or skillful way to live. Of course, we have to be concerned about our circumstances. But if we depend on our circumstances for our understanding of the nature of life or even our experience of life, then we're foolish.
Right.
And this is the kind of chance. Often it's not until you get hit by some situation that you wake up and you begin to look more realistically or how can I say, more deeply at things with a question. So this is an excellent opportunity. Actually, a couple of days ago, I started having a good feeling about viruses.
And why?
I don't want to because they're true. They're not some fantasy made up by human beings that create suffering for each other. And it shows us the truth. And it helps us point to something far more important than what we usually put our attention into.
Yeah.
And so, they're my friend.
Cause and effect too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And it's not just because you do bad things. Zen Master Sun San used to say, being born is already a big mistake. This universe is original emptiness, but we were born because we made some karma. That's not good or bad. It's just the truth.
Right.
Even Jesus said, the truth will set you free. So if you see the nature of things clearly, any religion will show you the way to behave towards others. And if you don't look at things that way, and you think instead about who's high, who's low, who's good, who's bad, am I better than somebody? Am I not as good? How much money do I have? Am I beautiful or ugly? Do people treat me the way I think I deserve?
Right.
It's better to be dead.
Right.
Even animals are better than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because animals are simple.
That's right. That's absolutely true. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So we should say thank you to the virus for helping us become more clear. Of course, when you're sick and you can't breathe, it's suffering, but then also you understand something. I realized that could happen to me. I could be in a hospital somewhere getting either treated or not getting treatment and having a hard time breathing. And that's also the truth.
I saw my mother go through that for about 10 days or 2 weeks in the intensive care unit when she was close to dying. So she was like, couldn't get any oxygen.
Yeah. Even now, talking about it, I want to take a nice deep breath, and I'm lucky that I can.
Yeah, right.
So if you still can breathe well, then appreciate the things that you do have.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.